Welcome back to the Nerdy Grail. And yes, I know before anyone says anything, I remember the last video when I said during my reaction to Bowlestrek's Lux review that I wasn't anticipating on doing any other reactions to his videos until the finale, possibly. However, I completely forgot that episode 4, Lucky Day, which obviously aired yesterday, so if you haven't checked out my review on that, please check it out, contains obviously the return of Ruby Sunday, played by Millie Gibson. And I haven't actually watched any of Bowlestrek's videos from his first season of Shooty. The last video I actually watched of his, other than Lux, was The Giggle. So I actually don't know what Bowlestrek's views on Millie Gibson or Ruby Sunday are. So literally the only reason I am reacting to his video on Lucky Day is just to see what his thoughts on Ruby Sunday is, as opposed to the episode itself. Because what I'm going to say beforehand is Lucky Day, for me, was my least favourite episode of the series so far. I don't think it's utter garbage, like his thumbnail says it is, so I'm interested to see why it's utter garbage. But I will concede that, for me anyway, this was the weakest episode of the series so far, if I'm perfectly honest. It just wasn't my thing. So, and I gave it a 6.5 out of 10 in my review. But I am interested to see what Bowlestrek's thoughts are, mostly in terms of Millie Gibson's Ruby Sunday. So I'm going to waste no more time, because this is a little bit of a longer one than usual. And I'm going to jump straight in to the reaction, to Bowlestrek's reaction to Lucky Day, and see what he actually thinks about it. Here we go.
What tales of wonder will spew from the degenerate's toilet this week? Let's find out.
Again, I am obviously, when I do these Bowlstrek videos, I'm gonna break down his points bit by bit. I don't know why straight away we're so aggressive with the shouting, and straight away using the word degenerate. Really, can we just not, just for 2 seconds? It's hard to tell at this point whether he's genuinely angry or whether he is just doing this because this is just the way he's been for so many years, and now he can't help it at this point. I genuinely can't tell anymore.
We start with fireworks, perhaps celebrating the hopefully soon-to-be cancellation of this trash. But people don't actually care that much anymore. Most have forgotten that you even exist. But I haven't, so let's have some fun. And as if on cue, our favorite pervert jumped...
I knew that. I knew it. I should have done like a bingo card or something for this, saying that how long was it going to be before he would criticise Shooty and say that Shooty's barely in this episode, the Doctor's barely in it, but yet he's still got to dig in there with pervert. Why? What is your obsession, actually, Bowlstrek, with calling him a pervert? Why? I generally want to know why. I don't understand. The Doctor's done nothing. The Doctor has opened the TARDIS door. Yeah.
Out of his blue dungeon box of pleasure, and immediately...
Blue dungeon box of pleasure. It's the same box that 14 had. And technically, if we're going by it, it's the same TARDIS from all the classic Doctors and all as well. So, don't understand what you think goes on in there, Bowlstrek. It's actually more disturbing, if I'm honest, because why are these things coming into your brain? I think you're acting a bit more like the pervert than Shooty is here, if I'm perfectly honest.
He starts playing with his fun new toy, trying to decide where it needs to be shoved this week. Up the audience, probably. They don't know where they are, but it appears to be stinky. Well then, tell Diversity Hire number 6 to take a shower.
That's another one I was waiting for, is when Diversity Hire, again, Belinda's not really in this episode very much, so I was wondering how long it would take before that comes in.
Or is cleanliness offensive now too? It seems it's London that's smelly. Well, you people did that to yourselves. Maybe look at your policies a bit more closely. Dr. Nutty found 50p. Congrats! That's more than Disney made off this crap. Next, this kid gives a look of terror as Dr. Nutty approaches. Good for you, kid. Now do what the pamphlets say and run! His name is Conrad. Conrad is white. Oh no, whatever could this mean? Spoilers, we'll learn more later. There.
I know exactly what you're trying to indicate there. White equals bad, which, I mean, to be fair, in this episode, in the context of it, Conrad does turn out to be a horrible person, but the problem is, Bowlstrek seems to think that anything white in this obviously means it's going to be bad, because all white people are bad, and everyone writes white people as bad nowadays, but that's not the case. That's not what happens at all. So normally Bowlestrek would actually have a point here, but no, because of the way that previous reviews go, no, he's just fuel to the fire, really.
In 2007. Remember 2007? Before everyone with a brain figured out what a pompous asshat Russell is?
Pointing out the Bowlestrek, 2007. Do we know what season of Doctor Who was out in 2007? David Tennant, season 3. Who was the companion that time? Martha Jones. What was Martha Jones? Was she your typical white person that you would normally have on the TARDIS? Or was she someone who you would nowadays classify as a diversity hire? Martha Jones was a beloved companion. Belinda Chandra is actually quite beloved. So I'm sorry, Bowlestrek, but no. 2007 was the same then as it is now. Yes, some things have changed, but in terms of what you criticise in these episodes, no, it stayed the same. Martha Jones, we also had delving into policies of racism things. Do you remember Human Nature and Family of Blood, how they treated Martha in those episodes? But I guarantee you wouldn't criticise those the same way you do these now. I'm sorry, I'm just going to point it out there.
When Dr. Nutty mentions hopes and possibilities, did you people do this on purpose? Then he bribes Conrad. Kid, run, now! So he does. Then he runs off to his single mother because fathers are no longer allowed on this show, who gives him a drunken smack. That used to be the norm back in the day, but I tend to think this is how this lady deals with all her problems. If it gets annoying, just hit it. Then she heads off to bang her loser white male boyfriend. Careful, or Dr. Nutty might beat you to it. Then we learn that Conrad spent the rest of his life searching for Dr. Nutty's blue dungeon box. And then, who's this? It's Princess Zumi, who...
Okie dokie. I was wondering he was going to call her Princess Zumi. So that's what he refers to Ruby Sunday as, Princess Zumi? What, because of the fact that obviously, she's young, youthful, obviously of today's standards, with all the social media and possibly to do with woke stuff, all sorts. I'm guessing, it's just a guess here. Okay, Princess Zumi is her name. Oh, okay. I honestly thought, Bowlestrek, that she would be safe from everything because, no offense, Ruby Sunday is just Rose Tyler. She is just practically Rose Tyler, just for this day and age. So did you have a problem with Rose Tyler as well back in the day? I'm just saying, it's weird. It is weird. I just think you just want to hate for hate's sake.
Relieved from her duties as full-time companion for being too white, Conrad is interviewing her about what a danger Dr. Nutty is to society. It seems Conrad ran into Dr. Nutty last year. Well, that's unfortunate, and experienced one of his adventures in degeneracy with another discarded costume taken out of the dumpster behind a Spirit of Halloween store. Also, there's Splooge. At this point, I hear you asking, wait, this episode is featuring a white dude not being portrayed as scum of the earth. Oh, just you wait, little ones. It seems that while defeating the Halloween costume, Princess Zumi got splooged on. Well, that's to be expected. The splooge has marked Princess Zumi as future prey, but don't worry, Dr. Nutty has the antidote. Honestly, dear, I take my chances with the Halloween costume splooge monster. Nobody in their right mind should ever take anything this man gives them. Princess Zumi...
I just don't understand. And Bowlestrek, it is ridiculous at this point. I'll give one thing. At least you're actually talking about some elements of the episode this time. Whereas when I reviewed your Lux review, you didn't talk about anything to do with the episode. So at least you're talking about the episode to a degree. So I'll give you a prop for that. But what is this obsession with pulling things out of thin air and just throwing them in the episode? Why would she not trust the Doctor? Why would any companion not trust the Doctor? The Doctor knows what he's talking about. He's just giving her an antidote. Same way that the Fifth Doctor gave Perry the antidote in the Caves of Androzani. The same way that anything happens. I just don't understand why you have to just make up stuff and just throw it in the episode. He's a sex pervert. Oh, he might be trying to drug you or this, that, and the other. Don't trust him and take that. Oh, why? Why are you putting that in the episode? That's got nothing to do with anything.
Decides to ignore my instructions and drinks the mystery juice. Well, it's your funeral, dear. No mystery antidote for Conrad, though.
It's not her funeral, though, because it saves her life. You're just being weird, Bowlestrek.
Consider yourself lucky, dude. Then Dr. Nutty heads off to take a holiday.
Actually, no, he's not lucky, because later on in the episode, obviously, not the next time, but eventually, that's because we find out that Unit's actually holding the shriek that was after him. It comes straight after him, because he's still marked as prey. So no, it's not lucky for him.
For most of the rest of the episode, because 8 episodes and a special nobody watched in a year is too much for our delicate little flower. Don't worry, though. He comes back later in the most over-the-top scene of bile-spewing hate the show has ever witnessed.
And I'll still mark this prey, so no, it's not lucky for him.
For most of the rest of the episode, because 8 episodes and a special nobody watched in a year is too much for our delicate little flower. Don't worry though, he comes back later in the most over-the-top scene of bile-spewing hate the show has ever witnessed.
And I'll go up on that point later, but no, the reason that Shooty's not around is he has a busy schedule. You know, Shooty is a busy man, he's doing other things, he's got other projects actually lined up as well. It's called being an actor and you can't tie yourself down to just one project. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Conrad takes a picture, probably to send it to the police, because he just spotted the blue pervert dungeon box
Because at the same time that David Tennant was also doing the 60th anniversary specials, he was still doing stuff with Good Omens Season 2. It's just what actors do. Not every actor is tied down to just one project. I know Doctor Who usually takes up a lot more time, but sometimes actors have things on the go. Same with actresses as well. They're not all tied down to just one project.
Looking for. He says he's been looking for Princess Zumi ever since. Yeah, dude, we were all worried about her. But then she showed up on his podcast. Well, that was nice of her. And what podcast is this? And what is this dude on about? Well, I'm sure we'll learn more later, and it's sure to be as subtle as Satan's ass breaking wind. Princess Zumi is sad that her and Dr. Nutty are no longer together. Well, you'll have to speak to Disney and the BBC about that. They have very strict policies that must be followed at all costs. Conrad starts saying that trolls online are saying that their adventures are just a cover story.
Are you forgetting the fact that we've got Mel? Are you forgetting the fact that we have Mel, who's constantly reoccurring? 60th anniversary. No, Power of the Doctor cameo. 60th anniversary. Season 1. The Season 2 finale. Forgetting the fact we've got Kate, who's constantly showing up. Here, left, right, and centre. Gloss over them.
Oh dear. Once again, wherever could this be headed? Then Conrad starts to hit on Princess Zumi. Dude, you better be making a lot of money on your podcast, or the police are about to be called. But his bank account checks out, and they go on a date. It seems they are about to become an item. And I start asking questions. A white couple on a modern-day TV show? On a British modern-day TV show? Something doesn't add up here. I'd start to get very worried if I was Conrad. They start to have a conversation about last year's splooge-spewing Halloween costumes, but I can't help but feel more and more worried for Conrad. The splooge monsters have come back. Oh dear! And don't say splooge too loudly. Dr. Nutty has very sensitive ears, and we just got rid of the creep. Conrad has been marked as prey by the splooge monster.
I'm not even going to comment anymore on his
what a pickle. What a pickle
stuff
indeed.
with the Doctor.
They are creepy little bastards. So, definitely friends of Dr. Nutty. Princess Zumi gives Conrad Dr. Nutty's splooge antidote. Careful, dude. You have no idea what that man put in that thing. It seems that meeting Dr. Nutty got
Considering the fact that Ruby's okay, I'd say it's fine.
Conrad into investigating UFOs, alien sightings, and other tales of degeneracy. I wonder what his eventual take on these things is going to be. It's a mystery. Conrad says he thought the day Dr. Nutty bribed him was his lucky day, but actually, today is his lucky day. Is it though, Conrad? Is it really? Because Russell and his friend Petey might have other plans for you. Then Conrad offers to buy Princess Zumi dinner, but he might be worried that that's too old-fashioned. No worries, Conrad. She's a modern lady and is more than happy to take your money. Then we have a cameo from I'm Just Doing It for the Money Mommy and Whacked Out Granny. What fun! They are very excited about Princess Zumi's new boyfriend. As we all are, dear. As we all are. Then we go
I honestly can't wait for when they reveal
it. Coupling that would in no way ever be approved by the modern BBC. And I start wondering when things are going to take a turn. It seems Conrad's slap-happy mother is dead. Well, that's sad. Still no father, though, so that should make the 5 remaining fake fans of the show very happy. Princess Zumi also makes clear that if Dr. Nutty were here, he'd want to bang Conrad. Oh, we know, dear. As I keep saying, that dude will bang anything. Then we have kissy time. Oh, Conrad.
I knew when I watched that episode, I was thinking about how he was going to comment on that. I knew what that was going to happen. I mean, it is just the way that they are doing Doctor Who now, so I'm not really going to comment on that.
You are so unbelievably screwed. Then but Princess Zumi's other mother turns up for a visit.
I'm sorry,
man, so many mothers, and not a father anywhere to be seen. How modern! It seems Princess Zumi is off for a fun weekend of banging Conrad's wallet. Again, so much fun. Conrad's friends are mostly white. Oh,
I mean, no, he's not. No, she's not. He invited her. I mean, obviously we find out he invited her for a specific reason later on, tricking her, this, that, and the other. But no, she didn't abuse him for his wallet at all. Not at all. In fact, in a minute, she's going to offer to get them drinks. In a minute. So just wait 2 minutes, and yeah, she's going to actually get up to get a round of drinks.
We know what happens whenever this is a thing on this show. But maybe they'll surprise us this time. Maybe it's just a bunch of friends having a good time. Then Princess Zumi calls Nepo Baby Kate as the lights start.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Do not start dissing Kate. There is nothing wrong with Kate Lethbridge-Stewart. I'm sorry, Bowlestrek. No, you cannot do that. You cannot diss Kate. There's nothing wrong with Kate. Kate has been brilliant since her creation. And they brought her round because I don't know if you... I mean, if you're a true Doctor Who fan, you would know, Bowlestrek, that Nicholas Courtney is sadly no longer with us. I'm sure if Nicholas Courtney was around and he was healthy enough to do it, we would still have cameos from the Brigadier. We're lucky to have Kate. Kate was actually established ages before Nicholas Courtney passed away. So it's great that we've got Kate. Do not diss Kate. At all. Do not. That is wrong.
Because why call somebody who actually earned their position? Such a thing doesn't happen in the UK anymore.
I'm sorry, Bowlestrek. You're just... No. No. I got so much I could say to you right now, but no. That's just wrong. Disgusting. Disgusting. Absolutely vile.
Then it's hinted that Nepo Baby Kate might be banging her subordinate. Well, that's not very professional, but expected. Then Nepo Baby Kate...
I both agree with you and disagree with you on that point. It isn't very professional. That's the point I agree with you. Definitely. And I'm wondering if eventually that's going to come out and mean something later on down the line. But expected. When has Kate ever, since she came around back in the Matt Smith era, ever showed any signs of flirting or whatever with members of staff? Never. Never happened at all. And the only time it's happened, obviously with Colonel Ibrahim, was that she thought she was dead. And she came back, saw him, and they just held hands. And now obviously they're trying to make a thing out of it. It's just character development. And it's for plot threads and for future storylines, you know, to make it a bit more interesting.
To say hi to the splooge monster before going back to sexy time with subordinates. Then Princess Zumi says that she thinks she has PTSD from her time with Dr. Nutty. That seems perfectly reasonable. Then the Halloween costume splooge monster shows up, and it seems that Conrad didn't take Dr. Nutty's secret formula. Oh no! It seems there's more than one Halloween costume splooge monster. I guess the costume department was feeling generous with its budget that day. Who am I kidding? They found a second costume in the dumpster. No worries though, Nepo Baby Kate and friends are on the case. Then Princess Zumi starts barking orders when this white dude asks who put her in charge. Pretty reasonable question, in my opinion. Then Princess Zumi heads out to girl boss the Halloween costume splooge monsters into submission. You go, girl. That's sure to work. Then she gets offended when Conrad comes to help. Go away, dude. She has this all under control. Oh, no.
She's not offended that he's coming to help. She's trying to protect him because he is the target, Bowlestrek. That is why she is concerned, as anyone would be, if any doctor would be. That's just how it works. She's not offended. I don't know why you throw that word around.
And Sparky's dead. Poor Sparky. But, oh good, it's Nepo Baby Kate and friends. Nice to see she was able to take a break from banging her subordinates.
Ugh.
But then we suddenly find out
God.
that they really were costumes all along. Well, color me embarrassed. Then the episode takes a wide turn into Silly Town. It seems Conrad was behind it all the time. What a twist! It also seems Conrad is a member of Think Tank, which intends to expose the lies told by UNIT. Well, if they are liars, then I guess somebody has to expose them. Also, don't forget to ask Nepo Baby Kate about all that banging going on in her office. He tells Princess...
God, you're so obsessed with sex, Bowlestrek, honestly. It's ridiculous. It's sad. God, ridiculously sad. Just the doctor's a pervert and wants to have sex or bang everyone. Nepo Baby Kate now with all this going on. Just it's sad, Bowlestrek. Just sad.
To me how unpleasant it was having to deal with her all those weeks. Well, that goes without saying, dude. And Nepo Baby Kate is not amused. Conrad tells Kate that she should be ashamed for wasting taxpayer dollars. While he does have a valid point, perhaps you should stop banging your subordinates when on the clock. He says everything UNIT does is fake, and nothing but special effects. Well, they are. But I don't know how many people were actually convinced, considering the abilities of the effects department. Conrad says people need to know the truth. It's simple, Conrad. Russell and his friend Keaty want to make sure nobody ever watches this show again. Oh, and in case you haven't guessed it, Conrad is your typical Trump supporter. Or maybe just somebody who asks too many questions. You know, stuff that reasonable people do. Don't ask questions. Just do as we do or get canceled. Then Conrad says that Ruby Sunday is a ridiculous name and sounds made up. You're right, dude. Her real name is Princess Zumi. Then in true UK fashion, Nepo Baby Kate has them all arrested for having an opinion she doesn't agree with. Now here's the...
The only difference, though, this time, Bowlestrek, because I kind of, get what you're trying to say, that, they're arresting them for not, for their free speech. However, in the Doctor Who universe, and I've had many conversations with my fiancé about this in the past, is in the Doctor Who universe, and a lot of those people in that scene, Conrad and his mates as well, were still around back in 2007, which in 2008, 2008, we had Journey's End of Stolen Earth, where the whole Earth was moved across, with planets in the sky, the Daleks, they've been invaded by Cybermen and everything multiple times. They know aliens exist. They know what's happened with UNIT. We had all the stuff with the giggle and all before, where the whole world was going mad. So I'm sorry, but Kate has every right to arrest them because they are causing a major disruption and they are... Well, they are in the wrong. They are in the wrong. I'm sorry, but they are.
Lady to tell us about the terrible fascists on the streets and asks why Conrad was arrested for a simple stunt. Simple, dear. Nepo baby Kate and Princess Zumi got offended. Everybody seems to be celebrating Conrad for exposing the lies. Kind of like the lie that this show has a future, especially if Russell and his friend Petey have anything to do about it. Princess Zumi is sad, and her two mothers try to cheer her up. Still no father in sight, though. Conrad is going to name and shame and dox every person in UNIT. Oh no! Conrad says everyone is spying on you. While this is the UK, I think it might be that pesky little thing called the truth. It seems that the people want to stand up for their freedom. Oh, you are all so screwed. You dirty, insignificant, unwashed plebs. This is the Russell and Petey hour, and you will do as we say. It seems that, at one point, Conrad applied to work for UNIT, but didn't get the job because he didn't adhere to their strict DEI policies, and he holds a grudge. Well, if you were spending my money, I'd want the best people working there. But no, you hired people like Tiddlywinks. Yeah, the people should be grateful that they're being protected by a narcissistic teenager. Princess Zumi says it's about more than a grudge. It's about power and craving attention, unknowingly having just described the entire modern leftist movement. And it seems Conrad's mother is not dead, and he's making a ton of money. Well, we already knew that, considering Princess Zumi would give him the time of day. And, well, good for him, but I can...
Harsh, what are you saying that... I mean, how would she know anything about the money? Because he's been lying to her, so... She can't be wanting to be with him because of the money, because he lied to her saying that his mother was dead and that he's got nothing and he's doing this podcast. So that's a lie. That's not true. You're just deciding to do that just to get out your hate agenda yet again. And no, I'm sorry, Conrad obviously wasn't up for the job because she didn't trust him and she had every right not to trust him, And I know you're trying to say, I didn't fit the policies because, you're not a certain race or this, that, and the other. That's what you're trying to get at. And I don't know why you don't just say it because you're happy to say it every other time. But you've got to keep in mind what other people and who else is at UNIT as well works for UNIT. Like Donna technically does. Mel. I keep having to bring Mel up because there's reason for that. There's plenty of people who work for UNIT still. Ace and Tegan, who are helping out now and again. Because basically anyone who was at that meeting in Power of the Doctor, Kate is basically saying, like, I might have some work for you, which Dan was there, Graham was there. Come on now.
Why somebody actually earning their fortune would be offensive to these people.
Plus also, why does it matter, Bowlestrek? Why does it matter? Why does it honestly matter if, say, they are not white? Why are they not allowed to work at UNIT? They can. Why does that matter? How do you know they're not skilled enough for the job?
And it seems the government has ordered a full...
Again, I point to Martha Jones.
...inventory of UNIT premises. Well, you are all definitely screwed. Nepo baby Kate is worried what happens when a dictator gets a hold of UNIT technology. Well then, dear, perhaps you shouldn't have all voted for Lord Dinklenuts. Then, in case anyone was wondering why a white dude was working for UNIT, he's a planet, because any white dude working for UNIT must be the devil. But the white dude wasn't terrible enough, so Conrad just shoots him. Then, as if this episode was written by a purple-haired freak on Blue Sky, Conrad comes in ready to shoot up the place, and if you're not laughing hysterically by this point, then something must be wrong with you. It's hard to even get mad at this anymore. These people are so pathetic. Conrad calls them a bunch of traitors. I'd say more like a bunch of attention-seeking, unqualified DEI hires. Like everyone involved with this show. Either that or they're just Nepo babies, but I think the words you are looking for are generally annoying. Princess Zumi then accidentally and unintentionally exposes the degenerate left, or perhaps Russell directly when she says, quote, "This isn't about cause. It's about grandstanding and ego. You're a lying little boy that can't bear to be called out." Then Nepo baby Kate, being as a...
That's exactly what he is, though. He is a lying little boy. That is exactly what he's doing, because in the context of the show, he is trying to expose UNIT for being fake and saying that everything they do is a lie, which we know isn't true. We know it's all real. So he is. That is exactly what he is. And he is jealous that he didn't get the job at UNIT, because he constantly mentions it. And it was part of their conversation that he has with Kate.
As ever, says, "Don't you dare point a gun at her," and says her interview notes said, "Don't trust him. Of course don't trust him. He might expose you for being the useless, nepo baby DEI hire you are." Then Princess Zumi calls him deluded and says, quote, "The grown-ups are talking. How dare you, Conrad? This 20-year-old girl boss knows everything, and you know nothing." Then he makes fun of nepo baby Kate.
He does know nothing, though, in this context, because everything that is coming out of his mouth is not the truth. Because he's saying that everything that UNIT stands for is a lie. Saying that UNIT doesn't protect them. Saying that they are fake. Saying that the doctor is all fake. So, I'm sorry, but he is wrong.
Dad, and she gets even more bitchy. Then Conrad asks where Dr. Nutty is, and Princess Zumi says, "You're lucky he's not here. Yeah, there's already too much banging going on in this office already. Isn't there, Kate?" Then Nepplebeep.
I mean, at this present moment, obviously they are hinting at Kate and Ibrahim, but they've not actually done anything. All that's happened so far is that he gave her a coffee and stayed late with her so that she wasn't alone.
Kate, in an act of stupidity and
And again, I will say it is unprofessional if she is, but also, why does it matter? And why is that your core focus? Why is your core focus on everything not what's going on in the episode, but on who's banging who and who's having sex with who?
Arrogance, pretty much the norm for her, unleashes the Halloween costume splooge monster to prove a point. Man, this lady, I tell ya, nothing like nearly getting everyone killed to prove the white man wrong. Gold star for you, Kate. She calls him a, quote, "angry little man who put the safety of this country at risk for personal gain." I believe that's Lord Dinklenuts, Kate. Then Princess Zumi saves the day, once again, without the help of Dr. Nutty, on the Dr. Nutty show, and without the help of bitter old cat lady, Nepo baby Kate. Conrad says thank you, and she tells him to go to hell. Then, the Halloween costume splooge monster bites him in the arm, meaning that our plucky little girl boss failed. But the internet is now referring to her as Hot Taser Lady, so her ego is fully secure. Then the silly goes up to 10 as Dr. Nutty decides to visit Conrad in jail. Surprisingly, he doesn't want to bang Conrad. Instead, he's going to give him a piece of his mind, showing a level of contempt that even the Daleks, Cybermen, and the Master, or pretty much any other enemy on this show has ever gotten because, as we all know, it's the straight white male that is the true enemy. Dr. Nutty, thinking he's putting the white...
No. Just no. I don't know. He would do this. Doesn't matter, like, that Conrad is a white man or a straight white man in this situation. It's the things that Conrad has done is why the Doctor is angry. That is why the Doctor is angry. He would do that no matter who was standing in front of him. It doesn't matter, because the things he's angry about is that he betrayed Ruby and that he tried to expose all his friends even though they were telling the truth.
Do it in his place accidentally gives the best description of the degenerate left I've ever heard. "You're special for all the wrong reasons. You see, I am fighting a battle on behalf of everyday people who just want to get through their day and feel safe and warm and fed, and then along comes this noise. All day long, this relentless noise. Cowards like you, weaponizing lies, taking people's insecurities and fear, and making it currency. You are exhausting. You stamp on the truth, choke on our bandwidth, and shred our patience because the only strategy you have is to wear us down. But the thing is, Conrad, or degenerate left, I have energy to burn and all the time in the universe. Somebody call Webster's dictionary. We have a new definition to enter. Modern leftism. Read below." Then Conrad starts...
That, my friend, perfectly describes you, Bowlestrek. Everything you just said describes how you are in your videos. Because let's actually go back and listen to it.
And shred our...
Let's go all the way back.
Ever heard. You're special for all the wrong reasons. You see, I am fighting a battle on behalf of everyday people who just want to get through their day and feel safe and warm.
So, people like normal Doctor Who fans who just want to enjoy an episode. Okay, so picture that.
And fed, and then along comes this noise.
Noise. Okay, so in all of your reactions so far that I have watched, and even the ones I haven't watched but I've read the comments of, people say that you instantly start yelling at the top of your voice straight away, screaming absurdities, before even actually making any valid points in your videos.
All day long, this relentless noise.
Yep, relentless noise, constantly being racist, homophobic, sexist, constantly, every single time you seem to put out a review.
You weaponizing lies, taking people's...
Weaponizing lies, yeah, calling Shooty like a sex pervert, diversity hire this, diversity hire that, he wants to bang everything, oh, Kate's gonna bang this, do this. Yep, there we go.
Securities and fear, and making it currency. You are exhausting. You stamp on the truth. Choke on our bit.
It is exhausting. Why can you not just enjoy something for a change? Or actually give something a chance? I don't believe that you give things a chance at all, and I said this last time, and I'm saying it again now.
And shred our patience because the only strategy you have is to wear us down. But the thing is, Conrad, or degenerate left, I have energy to burn and all the time in the universe. Somebody call Webster's dictionary. We have a new definition to enter.
There we go.
Modern leftism. Read below. Then Conrad starts to laugh, along with anybody that actually watched this crap. Then Dr. Nutty tells him he'll die in jail. Probably. This is England after all. Then he tells Dr. Nutty to put him back in prison and, quote, get off my world, in another act of amazing subtlety from Russell and his friend Petey. And then, oh no, he gets freed by Mystery Lady as this week's lecture session has come to an end. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, piss off!
Well, there we go. I mean, I don't really know what I expected, to be honest. It's just another typical Bowlestrek review. But what I will say is, at least this time he does talk about some things that actually happens in the episode, unlike my review reacting to him react or review Lux, where in his Lux review he didn't talk about barely anything that happened in the episode. Still doesn't talk about much, mind, but at least it's something. But yeah, no, it's just typical, and it's just boring at this point. Generally is. Like I said, I am not going to react to Bowlestrek's episode 5, The Story in the Engine, or Interstellar Song Contest, because I only did this just mainly to see what he thought of Ruby Sunday, and I'm actually shocked, to be fair, that he criticises her just as much as anyone else, considering, you know, that she should fit his brief, surely. And same with Kate. I'm really shocked at his thoughts on Kate, because Kate's done nothing wrong. So at this point, I just think Bowlestrek hates for hate's sake. I don't even know if he believes half the things he says and does. And I honestly wonder what happens when he finishes his reviews. Is he generally still full of hate, or does he actually like parts of the episode? I don't know at this point. But anyway, that is going to be my reaction to Bowlestrek's review on Lucky Day. If you enjoyed this video, please like it by giving it a thumbs up and comment down below your thoughts. And subscribe if you're new. But for now, this is the Nerdy Grail signing off. I hope you've had an amazing day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now, everyone.